So it is creative finance is the term that's going around.
Correct.
Yep.
It's definitely creative finance. And there's really one way that's compliant that I know about to how I'm sure there's all kinds of non-compliant ways, but I found a potentially compliant way. It just depends on the lender requirements where I can use my law firm to facilitate this and protect the buyer, the seller, and myself as the lender.
Hey guys, so if you guys are taking down deals out there using creative ways to get those deals, you're getting sellers to work with you. As Ethan alluded to, sometimes sellers who are a little bit more sophisticated are willing to make a deal work to get their price. If they have just a number in their head, but maybe the market doesn't necessarily support it or they want to move it quicker, they might be willing to work with you with the seller finance and other creative ways. Ethan could potentially partner up with you to help you get those deals, keep more cash in your pocket to be able to continue adding to your marketing funnel, to continue to get more deals down the line. Definitely not making any promises that you would have to come up with no money out of pocket. Again, obviously this is predicated on, the seller that you're working with and him coming to the table. But Ethan could be someone that could facilitate that. He has a law degree. He has, a family office that he manages, and he is in this space. So Ethan Gao would be a good person to reach out to if you have a deal that sounds anything like what we just went over. All right, moving forward. So that would be option number 2 for what Kroc Lending is doing. And what other options? I know you have traditional bridge funding or gap funding. If I know there's a soft close or soft amount of money that's distributed, loan.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So the final part of this is what I'm well known in our industry for. One is soft earnest money deposits. So sometimes people need to lock in a deal.
Oh yeah, EMDs. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I've done hard
EMDs,
earnest money deposits too. I've had a mixed track record. I don't really like that. The risk reward is not that great. But I'll do soft deposits where, let's say you need to fund $1 million into earnest money. It goes hard in 30 days and you could just cancel the contract within 30 days, get the $1 million back. I'd be interested in looking at that. Usually, these days, the market's so bad, you don't really have to put up that much earnest money anymore. So sellers are just happy to get a buyer. But in the past...
Not in San Diego, unfortunately, man.
Oh, really? Okay. It depends on the market then.
I mean, we're still at 3% pretty much across the board.
3%. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Back in the day, a couple years ago, people would have to put hard earnest money day one. It's like, hey, do your due diligence before you even get it under contract. Make sure you can close. That's a little risky for the buyer. And what I'm really known for is my gap lending program. So as I was networking with people, the primary thing that I was looking for was the opportunity to sign on a loan as a loan guarantor or a key principal. So where a team didn't have enough net worth or liquidity to qualify for a loan and they needed to bring on a stronger balance sheet person, that's where I was mostly meeting people to offer to be that. Now now I've opened more services in my law firm, so I have somebody that works for me.
And these loans are non-recourse though, right, Ethan? So you're coming on...
Some are recourse, some are non-recourse.
Okay.
Most are non-recourse.
Got it. Okay.
But now I also meet people with the goal of, selling them life insurance if they need it, or doing legal work for them. Let's say they need a PPM, a syndication.
I sent you one of my friends who's down there, right?
Yeah, you did.
Harvard guy.
Yeah, Tin. Yep, great guy. So what I noticed was in certain situations, I met people that didn't need me for anything. They don't want any life insurance, or they already have it. They don't need me to be their lawyer. They've been using their lawyer for 10 years. They don't need a loan guarantor. They have plenty of liquidity and net worth to qualify for a loan. But what they didn't have was the capital to close on a deal that they couldn't extend the date for anymore. So I'll give you an example. The first one I did was a very experienced investor came to me. She was short $1.5 million. She was like, man, I had a 1031 investor back out. He used to be a business partner of mine. I really thought, he was good for it, but his 1031 didn't work. I can't get an extension. I'm short 1.5 million for closing. Everything's done. Loans approved. I raised the rest of the money. My team is ready to go. I have literally 4 days to come up with 1.5 million, or else I'm going to lose $1 million of earnest money to the seller. And then I'm going to lose my reputation. I'm going to return all this money to my investors. I'm going to look stupid. And she presented me with that. And I was like, thought about it over the weekend. And then I came to her and said, hey, I'm going to lend you 1.5 million. But what I need you to do is within 3 months, I need you to raise that money post-closing and pay me back. I did several more just like that. So that is what I'm specifically looking for. Somebody that hasn't met all of their fundraising in time, specifically if they have an investor that backs out on them last minute and it's just really difficult to replace a large amount of money in a short period of time and there's no way of extending the contract. That is what I'm known for. I'm like the emergency loan guy.